What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel. I was in the middle of the Ravens rebuild. It'll be a little bit later. You guys are getting 2 uploads today, though. And it happened. It happened. Like, literally, my phone right now, I got 4, 5, 6, 7, like 6, 7, 8. Oh, more coming out. I'm getting Discord notifications now about Jalen Hurts has been named the starter for the Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz to the bench. And I have a lot to talk. This is almost like a therapy session. Let's just talk about it. Let's open it up. This is like my 4th time recording this because I want to have some form of structure. All right, so what to break down? Jalen Hurts is a starter against the Saints. He's probably going to get hung out to dry because I would argue that the Saints, probably with the Rams, have like the scariest defense. Maybe the Niners as well in the NFC. And with how Philadelphia Eagles offensive line has not been doing a good job for Carson Wentz in particular, it's going to be a tough game probably to get a true read on Jalen Hurts. But if Jalen Hurts looks solid in this game, maybe there's something there because it's a legit matchup. It's a legit matchup. So from the optics of making Jalen Hurts the starter, if I read it as you're protecting the investment in Carson Wentz because he's not playing well, we're not calling plays to his strengths. It looks like there's absolutely zero chance that anyone on this coaching staff has the capabilities to fix Carson Wentz this season. This is going to be something that has to happen in the offseason. Also, he's getting hit way too much. He's like the most hit quarterback in the league. He has some injury concerns in his history. So from all that, shifting Wentz to the bench and throwing out the cheap second-round pick that never should have actually happened, yeah, it makes sense from that standpoint. And, going off of this decision probably happened from the Packers game. First half, we'll break it in half. Essentially, the first half was Carson Wentz. The second half was, half of the second. Most of the, 2/3 of the second half was Jalen Hurts. Carson Wentz in the first half didn't play good or bad, really. He was kind of indifferent. He looked like Carson Wentz before. He didn't really have any turnovers, which was an improvement for him. But generally speaking, he didn't look good. And if there was this notion going into that game that like Carson Wentz had to play fine or else we were pulling the trigger, but Doug made the right decision. He wanted to bring in Jalen Hurts to get some juice. Jalen Hurts ended up getting a touchdown on 4th down, and that looked fine. But the context is important. As much as there's validity to saying, Jalen Hurts' performance was average, I would say, coming in, and you could say, well, he might have been better if he was fully prepared that week as a starting quarterback. That's fair, I guess. That's a fair claim. But I also think it's fair that I know a lot of people on social media, be it, neutrals that didn't really watch the game, people in media, or the casual Eagle fan, are going to blow up the performance. They're gassing Jalen Hurts up. They're like, oh my God, that's the guy. How have we been waiting this long? In reality, if you watch that game, by the time Jalen Hurts came in, the game was pretty much over. Credit to Jalen Hurts, made it competitive. But the big drive where he had the big pass to Jalen Reagor, he had the touchdown to Greg Ward, the Packers were running like a vanilla cover 2 defense. They were not blitzing. They were not setting pressure like they were when Carson Wentz was in. They're pretty much, this game's over. Let's just not get beat deep. So Jalen Hurts looked impressive against the Packers when they weren't really trying. And then after the Jalen Reagor punt touchdown, the game got close. We had a 3-and-out. Eagles got the ball back. Green Bay started running their regular defense. They were applying pressure, and Jalen Hurts ended up throwing an interception. So I think it's very, very important to understand that while Jalen Hurts did not look bad, Jalen Hurts looked more better, great wording, but more better than Carson Wentz did. So credit to that. But the context was, Green Bay, it was an easy defense to pick apart. If Green Bay was running that defense against Carson Wentz, probably would have put himself in a position to make a touchdown potentially. So, my point being, I do not want to discredit Jalen Hurts and what he was able to do. I think it makes sense to go with Jalen Hurts this week against New Orleans because Carson Wentz could have got a touchdown against that vanilla defense, but he didn't, and Jalen Hurts did. So Jalen Hurts is the starter. It makes sense behind this offensive line. You're getting ready to go up against the Saints. At least with Jalen Hurts, he can scramble. There's less worry if he gets beat up to the point where there's injury because you don't have that big commitment salary cap-wise. So from all that, Jalen Hurts is a starter for the Saints. Makes sense. So where do we go from here? What does this mean going forward? And I'm going to say, if I had to put odds on it, I like to gamble a little bit, 95% Carson Wentz. It's not a certainty because nothing, as long as Howie Roseman's in the building, is a certainty because I thought DK Metcalf was a certainty and we got JJ Arcega-Whiteside. 95% Carson Wentz going to be the day 1 starter next year. You know why? Because that is Jeffrey Lurie as an owner. That is his number 1 priority this year. His number 1 priority is not going to be can we trade Carson Wentz? Can we lessen his salary cap? Can we do anything like that? His number one priority is I'm going to find people that can fix Carson Wentz. And if that's not Howie Roseman, if that's not Doug Peterson, if that's not Doug Peterson bringing in an OC or changing things up with a quarterback coach and stuff like that, Pep Hamilton, then if I'm Jeffrey Lurie, that is my number one goal, is fixing this quarterback that I paid $100 million of my money. So it's not a certainty. There's still, I'll give you that 5% chance that this is Jalen Hurts' audition to prove that he should be the starting quarterback next year. We enter a quarterback competition, or Jalen Hurts looks good enough that, we look at trading Carson Wentz. There's a bunch of teams. I would say 5. That would be beating down the doors for the Philadelphia Eagles to get Carson Wentz and trade for him. We might not get great value. I don't think there's going to be a bunch of teams going, we'll give you a first. We'll give you a first for Wentz. Give me Wentz. But I'm looking at New England, Indianapolis, Denver. I could see Atlanta if they move on. I could see Detroit if they move. Like any team that's not going to be in position to get Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, probably the BYU quarterback Zach Wilson. They would if Wentz is on the trade block, they'd be like, all right, what can we do? What can we do to make this happen? I just don't see that being the case because Carson Wentz is a more talented quarterback than Jalen Hurts. And while Jalen Hurts might give us the best chance to win right now because he can scramble, he can make plays with his feet, his confidence isn't shot. He hasn't been failed by this Eagles organization yet, like Carson Wentz has. It's weird because no team tanks, right? No, even the Jets will come out and tell you they're trying to win every game, even though, come on. But like, what am I, as an Eagle fan, as watching this Eagles product, why would I want Jalen Hurts to succeed? I want Philly to suck. I want Philly to have a high draft pick. Like Jalen Hurts comes in, if he can win 2 or 3 games and plays us from the 5th overall pick to the 10th or 11th overall pick, like it's just more Philly botching this. It's weird as an Eagle fan viewing this because I am not a Carson Wentz fan, Carson Wentz hater. I'm not a Jalen Hurts fan, Jalen Hurts hater. I am a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles. There's a reason why I can't remember I think my last jersey that I bought of an active player was Wentz after 2017 season. There's a reason why I haven't bought any jerseys. And it's not because, I'm spending my money elsewhere. It's almost burning a hole in my pocket. I want a reason to get a fresh new active Philadelphia Eagle jersey and not just continue to get Brian Dawkins and Mitchell and Ness old school shit. But there's been no one that makes me want to buy a jersey for the Philadelphia Eagles because I'm just a fan of the team. And as far as the players go, I'm not really a fan of like any of our players right now, as sad as that really is. So in the context that I just want what's best for this team, I don't know how to approach this because I want them to suck. And it's like, if you feel like Jalen Hurts gives you the best chance to win, do you almost want to just like stick with Wentz so we can secure a top pick? If we could secure Jamar Chase, and that being the biggest step to fixing Carson Wentz is getting him a legitimate wide receiver and not a special teamer in the first round. Like, I don't want to dog Jalen Reagor, but I firmly believe that if you wanted Jalen Reagor, you could have just got Devin Duvernay in the 3rd round and you'd have the same player, So, I guess my closing thought would be, again, I'm going to go with this take. I can't re-record this video. It's a little bit all over the place, but my lasting point and my biggest takeaway from everything that's kind of happened, it happened on the first drive that Jalen Hurts had against Green Bay Packers. So, we'll go MVP year Carson Wentz, right? Everything's firing all cylinders. Doug Peterson, Frank Reich, DeFilippo has Wentz's mechanics looking as good as they have since North Dakota State. And then he goes down. And then we take this MVP offense and we completely change it. The RPOs and everything, we completely change it and tailor it to maximize the strength of Nick Foles. We go on to win the Super Bowl. Next year, Carson Wentz comes back eventually. Right? And it looks a little meh. Offense he's coming off an ACL, right? We limit your expectations. But then they pull him after the back injury. We close out the year and go into the playoffs with Nick Foles as our quarterback. Offense changed yet again to get into what makes Nick Foles, the best chance to succeed. The stand in the pocket, deep balls to Alshon Jeffrey. It was good. And then we had 2019 Wentz, where I don't really think you can maximize offense anyway because our wide receivers are so bad. Practice squad receivers, But it was a certain offense that Wentz looked fine. But I mean, he was never really MVP Wentz. But then Wentz got hurt in that playoff game. Dirty hit from Jadeveon Clowney. Josh McCown came in. The offense completely changed when Josh McCown came in. And we actually made Josh McCown look somewhat serviceable for like a 41-year-old backup quarterback that didn't play all year. And we had a chance with McCown against Seattle. I don't think anyone ever thought we'd win, but we were like right down to the dying minutes of the fourth quarter. We were still in that game because Doug Peterson went like, oh shit, I'm going to completely change everything, and we're going to try and just put Josh McCown in the best place to win. And then 2020 came. And so far, Carson Wentz, he's just out there operating Doug Peterson's offense. And Doug Peterson's offense, Doug Peterson's play calling is uninspiring. It's not working. And everyone is screaming at the top of their lungs. Carson Wentz is way better of a quarterback in a hurry-up offense with more RPOs and have him moving out of the pocket. Don't have him just stand back there because it's not 2017 where the line is a bunch of all-pros. We are as patchwork of 11 different starting offensive line combinations this year. That's the most in the NFL. Yet we're still just calling plays for a quarterback who the wiring out there is all messed up. His confidence is shot because his organization has failed him at every level. And you're still just like, all right, 5-step drop back, Carson. Wait, you got to keep waiting because no one wide receiver's getting separation. And he's just eating sacks. He's eating sacks. And we're just like, move him. Have him move outside the pocket. Maximize what Carson Wentz at this point of his terrible season is still good at. And that is hurry up and move it out of the pocket. And last week against Green Bay, it was more of the same. Same shitty play calling that's affected us since day one of this season. And then as soon as Jalen Hurts comes in, that first drive, I literally think his first 2 plays were bootlegs. Throwing on the run, getting moving on the pocket, hurry up offense. I could not, day or night, be more confident in the fact of the take that when Carson Wentz is in this offense, in the Philadelphia Eagles offense, and I think that there is somewhat, this falls on Carson Wentz because he's your $100 million quarterback, and if you're paying a quarterback, your franchise quarterback, $100 million, they should be able to run the offense that your play caller wants to run. I get that. That is completely valid. Wentz needs to do a better job. But when Carson Wentz is in this offense, he is running Doug Peterson's broken-ass scheme and play calling. And as soon as it's anybody that's not Carson Wentz, Nick Foles, Josh McCown, Jalen Hurts, Doug Peterson completely flips the script and starts calling plays that maximize the strength of whatever other quarterbacks under center and to minimize their weaknesses as best as possible. Why can't you fucking do that when Carson Wentz is in? That is the most frustrating thing about it, you know? And now we're here. Jalen Hurts is the starting quarterback. I want to say I wish him well. I'd be at a point where like if Jalen Hurts lights up the Saints, there will be a point where I'm like, oh shit, we might have something here. Like that's my take. It's not I'm cheering for Jalen Hurts to look bad, so they go back to Carson Wentz and I was right all along that Wentz. If Jalen Hurts looks good, cool, man, awesome. Maybe that will help his draft value in terms of his trade value in terms of getting draft stock back. But I kind of want him to fail because Carson Wentz is still the starting quarterback of this team. And the best thing that Jalen Hurts can do right now, if it's only one game that he starts against the Saints, or if he's our starting quarterback for the remainder of the year, his number one job is to secure the highest draft pick possible to help out Carson Wentz next year. So hopefully that's Jamar Chase. Hopefully it's not Howie Roseman making the pick because he just end up getting like Rashawn Slater, the small tackle guard hybrid out of Northwestern, the 5th pick. He's like, oh shit, I can get this guy because he has that, super, I'm not a football guy, so I need to prove I'm the smartest guy in the room mentality. But yeah, all eyes on Jalen Hurts. I'm sure it's going to be a fun reactions video after that Eagles Saints game. What do you guys feel? Why do you guys, again, is it weird though? At a point like this, if this was any other year, if Philadelphia was still in contention, I'd be like, Hurts wagon, baby. Jalen Hurts wagon. If he wins a game, I'm buying his jersey. But now that we're clearly not better than Washington and the Giants in particular, it's like I want him to suck so that we get a higher draft pick. It's weird. It's a weird time to be an Eagle fan. So let me know what you guys feel about it in the comments section below. Again, after this uploads, I'm going to finish the Ravens rebuild, and that'll be up for you guys a little bit later this evening. Go Eagles.